In one such time, from 20th March 2025, descending phase of Kaliyuga is ending. And we are entering a transition of 1200 years, which will shape to take us to next Yuga of Dwapar. It will be a gradual long process. But particularly out of these 1200 years, the initial 20 years become very important, particularly like till 2040. Because major chaos that will happen, it will happen in these years.
So does it mean that people like Newton and all of them, they were very spiritual and that's why they got the information?
Yes, they can be. If people would have been saying these things that, okay, we are be living in this age, back in early 90s, you would be laughed at. People will be saying you are mad. But right now it is a reality. Similarly, Satyuga, Treta, Dwapar, they are advanced Yugas. So Satyuga is the highest state. Then descending phase starts. So gradually it descends. Gradual descension of what? Human consciousness is degrading day by day. Person is becoming more immoral, more corrupt, more deceitful, more selfish, more opportunistic, more greedy. So descension of what? The dharma is losing, going down.
We have channelers coming on the podcast who channel the Akashic records and then who channel different beings.
Like Brahmastra is there, Narayanastra is there. It is being described. They are celestial weapons. Brahmastra literally means which can destroy an entire planet. It is that powerful. So if it is that powerful, we don't have that. And let's suppose if we have that, what will we do?
From 2025 until 2030, there's going to be major ascension. There's going to be solar flares. There's going to be climate changes, wars, food shortages.
The timeline is 1200 years. This time period is going to bring certain events which are going to create a lot of shocking things for people. It will force you. And believe me, it does not mean that it will happen to a country. No, you are living in a country, you will be impacted by that too. It's going to be bringing certain incidents which will force the humanity, the humans, go into a state of shock and existential crisis. Everything that mattered to you so far, you will start to question what I did for, every effort, everything. Like LA fires happened. Big celebrities, rich people is still watching helplessly burning down their homes. Can they do anything? They have all power in the world. Still pathetic, helpless at that moment of time. That is power of nature. Destruction of what? Egos. False egos. So destruction, shocking of what? Existential crisis means you think you are the doer. I will do things. I have control upon my life. No control. Nature will put you in place. Also, it will show that until and unless you don't realize how much destruction you have done, new age cannot come. Who knows what is the value of peace? We will see multiple things. First of all, climate change. Like destruction through fire, I said, ekpyrosis. Heat will increase globally. What will happen ultimately? Ice caps will melt. Water will rise. Storms, earthquakes, calamities, irregular rainfall, places which are prone, which are very close to sea, will submerge down. Lost.
Abhijeet Mishra, India's top astrologer, coming on the Celestevolve podcast to speak to us. Welcome, Abhijeet. How are you doing today?
Thanks a lot, Tanya, for inviting me. I'm very fine. It's nice to be here on your platform today.
So where are you connecting from in India?
Actually, I'm based in New Delhi. NCR region. So I live here, I practice from here. So I'm connecting from here at this moment.
Beautiful. You know, when I was looking for these videos, so thing is, I got into all of these kind of topics by watching these American podcasts and then Canadian, Australian podcasts. I felt like I could understand what they were talking about. And I was like, how come we don't speak about ascension and these kind of things in India? Then I came across your video where you explained in detail about what ascension and Yuga cycles mean. And I think the disconnect for me and what was happening in India is that these words like Yuga and that and this, it's so casually used that I never understood the meaning of it. So on this podcast, for you to come and, you know, just consider all of us like super new, very basic, and I'm excited to learn more about astrology and yugas. Can you talk about, let's begin by understanding what got you inspired on the journey that you're on today?
It's a long story. Actually, I've been doing this for nearly 16 years. And not the practice, but I've been into astrology before. I was working and I studied. It's like way back into early school times. So now, like coming back onto the part that you said, it's a big thing in India right now that we are not aware. We use these terms and we throw them all the time. Yuga and Kaliyuga is going on and bad things are happening.
Yeah.
But people don't have awareness what they're talking about. It's not like what you think that it is to be. And many people, if they are Indian, I am sure that they are not going to agree with me if they have not known these things before. Because, and I was one of them. I am not saying that I am new to this. I'm old to this. I'm new to this myself. But at least now I understand that there is a logic behind it. It's not like something somebody is saying or it has been written in Puranas, so I will just accept it that way. What has been written, it's actually true, but the meaning is lost. The essence is lost. People don't understand what actually it means. So when they say that a Yuga cycle, like Kali Yuga, is 432 years, 32,000 years long. So it's not actually that. It's like the entire Yuga cycle is of 24,000 years. Technically, it is 25,800 years to be exact. So how you come to that number, that is important. And second, how in the course of time, instead of being on that original number of 24,000, we somehow went on to this ridiculous number of lakhs of years by multiplying by a factor of 360. So when you multiply 12,000 with 360, you get a huge number. And then you say that, okay, multiply it with 2 again. So 2 cycles, ascending and descending. So complete Yuga cycle is 24,000. To 24,000 into 60 will be a really huge number. And then you say that this is the entire Yuga cycle, which is wrong. It's not like that. So here, and there is a astronomical reason behind it, because when we see, I am an astrologer myself, so if I am saying something, it's just because of the planetary alignments, and there is a astronomical basis behind it. It's not like we are talking in the air. So first of all, the main factor, there are 3 things which drive the results of I'll say impact of planets upon us. So number 1, we are living on Earth, so everything we will see from the point of view of Earth. Okay, because we are experiencing life here, not on any other planet. So if we are experiencing life here, so we are going to make a geocentric point of view. It does not mean that geocentric is the actual thing. Actually, it is the heliocentric. But when it comes to the point of reference that you are living on Earth, impact of planet should be taken upon you with this frame of reference, not like the sun. So when the calculations are made to cast a horoscope, we take Earth as the reference point. Still the same thing is going to be done. We are not ignoring the solar system or whatever. Every calculation is as per the heliocentric point of view. But when we come to casting the horoscope and prediction, and we go for the implementation of impact of planets upon us, then we take the geocentric point of view. So now what happens?
So when you say heliocentric and geocentric, what does that mean?
Heliocentric means that helio means sun. All the planets are revolving around the sun. Geocentric, geo means Earth. So when we are living on Earth as a plane. So the impact upon us is going to be taken from Earth's point of view. We are living here. So then when we are making a horoscope and seeing the chart, and then we are predicting, then we take it from a frame of reference of Earth where we are living, the geocentric point of view, to analyze and predict. But the calculations astronomically which are being done, normal course of action, how it is in the sky. Now, next point here is that there are 3 movements of Earth. Number 1 is the rotation of Earth, 24-hour rotation. Number 1. Second, revolution of Earth, 1 year, 365 days and a quarter, 365 and a quarter days. So revolution. And third is a wobbling of Earth. It is known as precession cycle. So all these 3 movements are responsible for 3 kinds of impact upon us. So what kind of impact? The impact of time. So number one, rotational axis is giving us day and night. It is also actually giving us ascendant. When we cast a horoscope, people who are familiar with astrology, they will know that ascendant is calculated through the regular day-to-day motion of Earth. So that one movement of Earth is giving us day and night, cycle of day and night, and the calculation of ascendant for making a horoscope. Second, revolution. Revolution is responsible for giving us seasons. Without that, there will be no seasons. So that is second. Third, the wobbling part. And it is very slow. It is very, very slow. It's like 1 degree movement every 71.6 years. 1 degree movement every 71.6 years. The wobbling. So that wobbling is so slow that it takes nearly 26,000 years to complete 360 degrees. So that wobbling, which is known as precession of equinoxes. So there are 2 equinoxes. Equinox, people who don't know. So every year, Earth is in an elliptical orbit revolving around the sun. So every year at 2 particular points, Earth will be not, we have Earth which is tilted at an axis of 23 degree and a half minute, 23.5 degrees tilted. So when it is revolving, there will be 2 points in the elliptical orbit when Earth will be like not tilted towards the sun or not tilted away from the sun. There will be 2 occasions in 1 year, 1 cycle. When that happens, what happens that the sunlight which is falling upon us, it will be balanced. It will be same over that plane where it is falling, which is in front of sun. So equinox means equal day and night throughout Earth. So it happens in approximately 20th March every year, which we call as vernal equinox or a spring equinox. And second is autumnal equinox, which happens around 23rd September every year. And understand, the equinoxes shift. Like right now, since 1 degree is happening in a 1 degree shift every 71.6 years. So right now, the current date is 20th March, which is falling. But gradually it will shift. It will move ahead. Below. Means it will shift below 20th March. So that can be seen because this rotation very, very slow. But this movement, like I said, the third wobbling movement, the precession of equinoxes which happens, this is responsible for Yuga cycle. Now see the impact of time in 3 layers upon us. How? Because Jyotish, astrology, study of time, and the study of time and the impact of time upon us. We are living life. We are living life in time 24/7. When you say you are living, what you are doing? Experiencing time. The moment time is ended, you are gone. So you are living life in time itself. Every moment is going ahead in time, past, present, future. So when we say why we are doing all these calculations, ultimately to study the impact upon us. So 3 things are happening. Number 1, like I said, the impact is in layers. So first is we cast an individual horoscope. Like you are born on a particular date, you have a time of birth, you have a place of birth, and we cast a horoscope that okay, you are born at this particular date, time, place. According to this will be your chart. And what chart means is when that person is born, what will be the actual position of stars in the sky at that moment, at that place, and that will show us that this is the thing that you are born with, the impact that you are coming onto this earth, coming onto this plane. That is first. Number 1. So those planets are going to impact you as a personality. They are also going to decide the life around you. They are not only going to control your personality, they are also going to determine that what kind of life you will have. Like we have a particular set of people around us who are close to us. You are not coming across the entire 8 billion population in Earth. There are few number of people whom you are familiar with. Okay, your parents, your friends, your acquaintances, whatever. So why is that? That is also determined by the impact of planets upon us. So this is on an individualistic scale. Similarly, when you move on a meta scale, then you move towards the horoscope of nations. nations, because every nation also has a horoscope. If the data is correct, like US, India, China, Russia, they have individual horoscopes. Their data has been verified. So the thing here is that how the nation is going to flourish or function in a particular time period of a particular planet. Why is that one nation is so prosperous and one nation is in utter state of deprivation? Why it is that US is superpower and African countries are suffering miserably in various basic things? Why is that? Because the planetary impact is not only on us on an individual scale, the planetary impact is also on the nation itself. So when we say, like, and it can be easily verified, like through the past events also and the current events also, like certain nations went through world wars. Why did the world war happen at that time only? Why it was happening? Right now also, I've made video on my channel upon that, the Ascension part, which I discussed, but I predicted about many things. I predict about US Canada trade wars, and there later on there is a possibility that the US will force them to become a state and everything. The video is uploaded in December. Then I also told about that, yes, there is going to be destruction because of natural calamities, particularly fire. LA fires happened in January.
Even
Major
more
scale.
fires.
Even more fires. Japan is also suffering from fires right now. So you are going to see this because we are coming close to that date. So January is going to be like, you are going to enter now the transition. So why is that happening? I'll explain the reason. But you can see that if I'm saying I'm not God, I am saying with some logic behind it. There must be a reason. If there is a reason, there must be a logic, there must be a science behind it. So now, like I said, the second timeline is the country that you are living in. So no matter you have, let's suppose you have a really good horoscope, but you are living in a very poor country. You don't have basic necessities, resources, whatever. So do you think that you will be getting that amount of resources, opportunities? No. So the same thing matters, that what country you are born in. So the impact of planets upon a nation. Then if you take on a meta scale, then it's like Earth as a whole. So Earth as a whole. So Earth as a whole with human civilization or general life, all life, human or any animal or plant or whatever. So that life, when we talk about Earth as a whole, then that impact is seen from the precession cycle, 25,800 year cycle. And that is divided into 4 yugas, 4 cycles of nearly 3,000 years duration. Those yugas go in ascending and descending phases. And then through that, we are able to determine that, okay, we are in this particular age, this kind of time period, and we can expect these results. Each yuga has, in simple terms, yuga means a thematic pattern, a theme, which is going to set in or kick in now to control or shape the life on earth as a whole. Countries don't matter, people don't matter. Everything will fall in that theme. It has to. So that is a very slow process, but it happens. Now, fortunately, unfortunately, whatever you think, we are in one such time from 20th March 2025, the descending phase of Kaliyuga is ending. It is ending. And we are entering a transition of 1200 years, which will shape to take us to next Yuga of Dwapar. So, to people who are still confused, I want to clarify one thing. It does not mean that Kaliyuga is ending. Don't think that. I'm not saying Kaliyuga is ending. I'm saying it is entering into a state of shift of transition for 1200 years. It will be a gradual long process, but particularly out of these 1200 years, the initial 20 years become very important, extremely important, particularly like till 2040, extremely important, because major chaos that will happen, it will happen in these years. So the thing here is that 1200 year phase, it's going to shape and prepare the humans as well as the society which we have built, the civilization, so that we are leading into the next phase, which is known as Dwapar. So obviously that will be a good thing, but what does it mean, ascending, descending, or everything? So I just want to share some of my slides here. It will be easy for people to understand. Can you see the slide here?
Yeah.
Now see, the Yuga cycle, as I said, that there are 4 Yugas in total, starting according to Hindu scriptures, Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, Kaliyug. 4 Yugas are there. One thing, there is a misconception, like I said, here if you say that, first I have already cleared, inflated Yuga time durations, that is wrong. And where we get the evidence is, particularly if you talk about Hindu scriptures, Manu Smriti, Mahabharat, and Surya Siddhanta, they all talk about 12,000 year Yuga cycle. 12,000 in total, 24,000. 12,000 ascending, 12,000 descending. In a gradual age of time, somebody, particularly, like there was one astronomer known by the name of Brahmagupta. He was a contemporary to Aryabhatta. So they had rivalry. So he propounded that, okay, the timeline is going to be multiplied by a factor of 360. And Aryabhatta, Polish, they are our main astronomers in India, and they wrote in their own text that it's not the inflated Yuga time duration of lakhs of years. It is actually 24,000. Next here is that there is also a misconception that people think that the Yugas are of unequal durations. So if you can see, Kaliyuga is 432,000, then 864, then so on. So it's not in a ratio of 4:3:2:1. It is actually equal. This also was a big misconception among people, which was later propagated, and still people believe it. And to have a reference of it, it was corrected. First of all, in Surya Siddhanta, it gives that the Yugas are actually equal in number. And second, we also find the evidence of this in maybe Romak Siddhanta, where the equal duration was discussed. Then another point which we think people have, that they expect sudden shift into new yugas. There is no sudden shift. Each yuga goes through a long period of gradual transition to pave the way for the next one. It's not like that. In simple terms, if you are living like night and day, so immediately after day ends, night does not immediately comes. There is a phase where there is a phase of transition. The dusk happens, the dawn happens, and then only the night and day enter. So in the same way, and seasons also, winter, spring, then summer. So it's not like immediate. Similarly, for Yuga cycles, the Yuga 1, Kaliyuga ends, not immediately the Dwapar will start. The transition has to be there in between. And people don't have awareness of ascending and descending cycles. You can read books by Abhijeet Mishra, title is Yuga Shift, and one book by Sri Yukteswar. He was guru of Paramahansa Yogananda. The book is Holy Science. You will get more information about the cosmic timelines and more evidences that they have given. But now, as I was discussing, that Yuga cycle, 4 Yugas in total, Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, Kaliyug respectively, and 25,800 years is the total cycle, with periods of ascending and descending in each yuga, following with transition periods between 2 yugas. Next here is that each transition period is considered very chaotic, because it is paving the way for the upcoming yuga cycle. So whatever destruction or troubles or anything which has happened, if it has to become better, and sometimes it's like a reset button. Things become so bad, so destructive, that it's beyond repair, and then there is no other way other than to have destruction for cleansing. So that cleansing time is known as transition. It is chaotic, it's challenging, it brings a lot of issues during its duration. And it's necessary, because later on it tends to pave the way for the upcoming yuga to become more advanced and humans to become more aware. Next year is that, like I already discussed, that the Yuga cycle is same as Earth's precession cycle. I've already explained this. And right now we are running in the astrological age of Pisces, means the sign of vernal equinox is in Pisces. Gradually it will shift into Aquarius in a few decades. Now, after this is the cosmic timeline. This is the vernal equinox and moving across in various zodiac constellations. Now, this is the Yuga cycle, which I was talking about. So, the total Yuga cycle is of 25,800 years. Now, there is a difference. Like I said, that previously, majority scholars like Aryabhatta and Polish, and then he was what you call Sri Yukteswar, the guru of Paramahansa Yogananda, he also said and proclaimed that yes, the cycle is 24,000. But why it is 25,800? So there is a gap of 1,800 years. So in order to, and this is actually a research done by Abhijeet Mishra. He actually came up with this very good insight that it actually works. So there is and one more thing, I'm not only referring to the Indian scriptures, because the same concept, it's like being used in various cultures throughout the world. It's not like Egyptians use that, Greco-Roman cultures use that, Hopis use that. So it's like that you will see similarities all across various cultures throughout the world, not just India. So if we combine and see the similarities, then like two time periods, one is ekpyrosis and another is cataclysmos. So this represents to the destruction by ice, and this is destruction by fire. It literally means this. Like pyrosis means destruction by fire, and it is destruction by ice. So this has already happened. This actually, if we actually time it with ice age that happened, so that it actually fits accurately with 1200 years of transition during the ice age period. Then right now we are here.
Oh,
Now
no.
before we are here in the ekpyrosis period, which is going to start for 1200 years now. So the thing here is that 2025 CE, now it starts for next 1200, and then we are moving in the upward cycle of ascension. We are not in the descension. So what is ascension, descension? So descending and ascending of what? Descending and ascending of human consciousness. So descending and ascending of human consciousness, the awareness, the self-awareness. Who do you think you are? So are you this body and mind, or are you something beyond this? So the thing which we study in philosophy is that we are pure consciousness, existence, bliss. You call it God, you call it Shiva, you call it by any other name. It is one non-dual pure existence, consciousness, bliss. It is the absolute reality beyond space, time and causation, which physics also calls it out. They have not reached to that stage. They have only reached to the point of singularity. Singularity is not that technically, but the point here is that I am mentioning the descending and ascending of the self-awareness within the human, the consciousness. So as the Satyuga starts, Satyuga is considered the epitome of all yugas. It is the best yuga cycle, best. So it's like, you can think of it as like a utopia. So, and understand one more thing, it's not mere fantasy, it's all true. Sometimes the thing is that we don't have capability to imagine. Since we don't have capability to imagine in the far-fetched future, like for example, people who have been in 80s, 70s, 80s or early 90s, we never expected that we will be living in this age of modern communication, where we will be talking on VCs and phones will be all touch screen and everything will be there, and we are more coming into the age of AR, AI and VR, and everything is going to come. So it was very far fetched for us in those times, and they are not very far away in the past. It's like around 25-30 years ago. So similarly, if you lack the capability to imagine the future, which is only 25-30 years ahead of you, how can you imagine a future which is thousands of years ahead of you? It's impossible, because we don't have that power to imagine. So, and it does not mean that it will not exist. It exists. It is a living reality right now. If people would have been saying these things that okay, we are be living in this age back in early 90s, you would be laughed at. People will be saying you are mad. But right now it is a reality. Similarly, Satyuga, Treta, Dwapar, they are advanced yugas, advanced time periods, which are beyond our imagination. It does not mean that they were not there or they will not be there. They will be there. So Satyuga is like the highest state of civilization possible, and where the human consciousness is supreme. There is, like Satyuga is said to be free from any kind of evil. Technically, evil is a wrong term. We say adharma. So adharma means any kind of immorality, corruption. It's not there. So Satyuga is the highest state. Then descending phase starts. So gradually it descends. Once Satyuga ends, cataclysmos happens and descension starts. Gradual descension of what? Human consciousness is degrading day by day. The elevated consciousness levels are degrading day by day. Person is becoming more immoral, more corrupt, more deceitful, more selfish, and more opportunistic, more greedy. So that is adharma. Dharma, the loss of dharma is there. So descension of what? The dharma is losing, going down. And since dharma is going down, the consciousness is going down, the capability of person to learn, to hold knowledge, to think, that is also going down. Because the more you are elevated in awareness, the better you will be able to see the things, understand the mechanics of laws, of mechanics or laws of nature, the cosmos around you. But if you are so ignorant, you are not able to see anything, you are rigid, what will happen? No level of consciousness, nothing will be there. So gradually the descension happens to Treta happens for 20 total 3000 years, 300 years between is the transition phase. Then Dwapar, then Kaliyuga. Now this Kaliyuga, technically here it started way back. The time periods are written. So descending phase was there from 3676 BC. It started according to our scriptures after the departure of God Krishna. The in Dwapar Yuga, the Kali Yuga started. And
Just Abhijeet, so when you say departure of Lord Krishna, and then you hear the gods and all, were they all walking on the earth? Are those stories all real? Like, was there?
Yeah, they are real, because see, the thing here, can you see me?
Yeah.
So see, the thing here is that it's not mere figment of imagination. Like I said, na, see, the problem here is that we have lost the capacity to understand the depth of universe. If you just watch out, whatever development has happened, I am talking about in the history of mankind so far, whatever we know, that has happened in the past century, in 20th century, maximum development. All the We owe our modern development to modern scientists: Einstein, Newton, Schrodinger, Feynman, Oppenheimer, Nikola Tesla. These people, when they happened? In the last century, 1800s,
Correct.
1900s. Okay, we owe our development to them. Before that, who was there? Before Newton, who was there? Nobody. India, we had Maharishis way back, way back. They are like, nobody knows the name Rishi Kanad. He was the actual founder of atomic structure of atomic structures and chemistry. Nobody knows that. So the thing here is that India, I'm not saying that I'm saying that yes, we were way ahead. And not only India, ancient civilization, Mesopotamia was there, Greek civilization was there, Roman civilization was there. They were advanced, no doubt. Egyptians were very advanced. How do you think they were able to make pyramids? It was not that easy. So, and the best thing that it is already always pointing to the star. Like when we constitute the zodiac, now we take the sidereal values pointing to a star,
Yeah.
where upon which earth means looks at. So they are making that calculations. Why? How? So there must be somebody who knows these things.
Yeah.
We think that since we have lost those civilizations and they are buried in sands of time now, we think that they are mere figment of mythology and imagination. It was not real. And that is the biggest blunder which we do. And that also shows that how much ignorant we are. because we are not able to understand. You think that uh, all the science which you have got right now, it's nothing, it's mere revelation. You understand, whatever you get, universe, until and unless universe is not going to plan and desire to give it to you, not going to get it. Information is in the air. Understand this. Information flows in the air. Not everybody can catch it. You need to have that sensory perception. Otherwise, if everybody is able to catch it, everybody would have been Newton. Everybody would have been Einstein. Why there is only one or two of them? Information is in the air. Universe only conjures to give you that much information which you can comprehend.
So does it mean that people like Newton and all of them, they were very spiritual and that's why they got the information?
Yes, they can be. They can be. And see, sometimes it's like, see, one or two, I'm saying, remember, this does not mean that I am demeaning them. No, not at all. I am saying that these are great legends of our modern science, Newton and all these scientists. If we talk about other yugas, we have Maharishis, we have descriptions of many sages, like Saptarishis are there, Brahma Rishis are there, Vashisht is one of them, Bhrigu is one of them, many Rishis are there. First of all, they are not beings of earth, they are beings of higher lokas.
Sorry, one second. So Rishis who are Rishis and what is Saptarishi? Like, who is that?
Rishis, see, Rishi simply means a scientist. Rishi does not mean Rishi. People think that he's a person who is a monk. Technically not. Rishis are like gurus, teachers, and who are great researchers and scientists who developed and worked in various streams of knowledges. So whether it is yoga, whether it is astronomy, whether it is chemistry, or whether it is physics, everywhere. Bhrigu or Varamihir or Parashar, they worked in the field of astronomy and this astrology. Then like I gave you example, Kanad was the rishi who actually developed the science. It is known as Vaisheshik philosophy. So he was the founder of that. Kapil Muni was there. So we don't know their names, but they are great rishis who actually propounded these things. And right now, like just to give you an example, like I talked about Kanad, so he actually figured it out that the smallest unit is atom, way back thousands of years ago. And when was electron discovered? In, I think, 1899 by Thomson. So the thing here is, that is the difference. Then we were talking about, now we have moved way ahead, we are moving on to quarks and strings and everything. But just see that if somebody is predicting that and saying it and actually explaining, when you say that, we don't have any resources, how could they do that? And resources were there and they had that capability, they had that level of self-awareness, they had that sensory perception to catch the information. You don't have that.
We have channelers coming on the podcast who channel the Akashic records and then who channel different beings. Like they say they channel aliens from the other planets. Do you think these rishis were channeling?
They can, because see, sometimes like Vedas, there is nobody who wrote the Vedas, there is no writer. Vedas were compiled later by Ved Vyas. He compiled them, but they were not written by anybody. There is no author of Vedas. So it was like a compilation of visions, truths, which were experienced by great sages in the deep states of meditation. And whatever they saw, whatever they got, the information that they got, they wrote it on Bhojpatras, leaves, and then it was compiled later. And before that, there was no written communication. It was always a Shruti literature. Shruti means you are oral tradition, passing on from Guru to Shishya. That is how it was done. The compilation, actually, majority of the Puranas and Vedas, what have been compiled, actually happened in 3rd to 5th century AD. In India, it happened mainly in the Gupta Empire. So the thing I am mentioning here is that these informations are so profound, and we have lost majority of the information. Remember that also. Whatever is left is that is also so huge to comprehend. We have lost many things. So if we have lost that much, whatever we have is so much, just understand what we have lost. So that is what I say, that once we are moving to different yugas, it's like you reach to a stage, and I am not exaggerating, it actually is, because it's like a person is actually reaching to a higher level of awareness, intelligence, dharma means morality, ethics, virtues, morals, principles. You are not living like a base animal anymore, because that is what degrades you. That is the descending cycle. And if you see, have we not been into ascending phase of Kaliyuga? We have, because we started like in ancient cultures. What was there? Nothing. There wars were taking place. No basic necessities. Life expectancy was very short. Average age was like 35 to 50 if you are very lucky. So it's like that. Now we have advancements. Life expectancy increased, literacy increased, then the civilization has reached to a certain stage where we are not worried about our basic survival anymore. We don't have to hunt and gather anymore. Na? We are not living in that age. So it means that yes, we have improved in terms of technology. Now this is the third point, that when we say ascending and descending, so ascending of what and descending of what? So descend, number one, human consciousness. Second, the dharma. Third, the advancement of that yuga, the technological advancement of that yuga, the things that it will have, the civilization itself. So right now we have advancements of technology, but our levels of human consciousness are still low. The dharma is still low. We see wars, we see greed, lies, corruption, manipulation, we see selfishness, killings, we see complete disrespect of the environment. We see that. So what does it show? Have you elevated on the level of human consciousness? No. You have become more hedonistic day by day. You have become more selfish and corrupt and manipulative day by day. You have become more animalistic day by day. Advancement in technology has happened, but you don't know how to use that technology. That is the problem. We have built nuclear weapons, but what is happening? It's nuclear weapon in the hand of monkey. That is how we are. So if you say that, let's suppose we say many technologies, for example, there is a description of astras means celestial weapons. Celestial weapons, we don't have that right now. Like Brahmastra is there, Narayanastra is there, it has been described. They are celestial weapons. So let's suppose there is some technology which is so profound, which can, Brahmastra literally means which can destroy an entire planet. It is that powerful. It has been described. So if it is that powerful, we don't have that. And let's suppose if we have that, what will we do? Because we don't have that level of consciousness, awareness, that capability. That you need sanity. To hold that much power. So universe, whenever descending happens now, universe is like it hides the things from you. Secrets are hidden. Technology is hidden. Knowledge is hidden because your consciousness is going down. You're not able to hold anymore. So it will give you to your capability. And slowly as you improve, the dharma level improves, the consciousness elevates. Similarly, it starts to reveal more secrets because information is all around. Do you have that capability to catch it? Like galactic travel, space travel is very common. In Bhagavad Puran, it is being described many stories. For example, like Krishna going to war in Devaloka Sangram. So Devalok means a different plane, not here on earth, a different plane. So different plane, and time is passing on earth. There is another story like Lord Krishna's elder brother Balarama. He was married, his wife Revathy, she was from Satyuga, and Krishna and Balarama are from Dwapar Yuga. So what happened? The father of Revathy, he was so troubled that he was not getting a suitable match for his daughter. So he went to Brahmaloka. Brahmaloka is the highest loka possible, where the time is so slow that millions of years will pass by on earth. It's like so slow, it's so far. It has been described. So what happens? He goes there, he in the meantime he meets Brahma, and when he says that, okay, now You'll get a positive match. Right now Krishna is there playing his leela on earth, and he has one brother, and you can marry your daughter to him. So he says that okay, but then he says that now you will, when you will go back, na, it's not your yuga anymore. All your family, all your civilization has ended. New yuga is going on. Krishna is there, Balarama is there. It's like many centuries have passed. What does it show? Time is relative. We study that now. Einstein used to say this, and we got this information now. But it is being, and if it is written in a story form, we say that it is gibberish. It's not gibberish. It's like it is. They are showing time travel. They are showing that yes, there is time is relative. If you are moving so far and coming back, thousands of years have passed by on Earth.
So Brahmaloka is, I thought Brahmaloka means the place where God is, like heaven or something, but it's not.
No. No. Brahmaloka, there is, see, heaven is like Swargaloka, according to Hindu scriptures. There are 14 lokas, 7 above earth, 7 below earth. Okay, it's like that. So above are like, obviously, which have higher states of awareness and more advancement and better civilizations than us. Okay, and below are obviously who are below us. So the thing here is Swarga. Swarga is considered like Indra. Indra is the ruler of Swarga, and Brahma is not. Brahma is like creator of universe. If you understand who is Brahma, Brahma is the creator of universe. The energy which is given the task to create
Okay.
the universe itself, that is Brahma. So technically, if you say in means there is a correlation. We have a galactic center. Okay, we have a galactic center, and we have a big black hole at the center of the galaxy. So what happens that we revolve around, planets revolve around sun revolves around the galactic plane, galactic center, nearly 26 million years. No, 25. I don't remember the exact number, but it takes that much time. So then what happens here is that the galactic center, the black hole that is there, we have, see, when we say Puranas, the stories are conveying some hidden things. They're not taken as literal all the time. So if they are conveying something, Brahma is like a creator, and he is what is the origination of Brahma? He came up from the navel of Vishnu. He came up from the navel of Vishnu. So we have like in Holy Science, the book I refer to, it is Sri Yukteswar says that Vishnu Nabhi is the galactic center. Vishnu Nabhi is the galactic center. And I don't want to digress, but the thing here is that it's like the black hole, what is present. It has, every black hole has a AGN phase, active galactic nucleus phase. So it activates switch ons and switch offs. So the moment it is switch on, so it's like it is going to be it will be more luminous and throwing radiation all around. So that radiation is not always bad. We are also going to enter the AGN switch on phase also at the same time.
You know, a lot of the podcasters not podcasters, the guests who channel information, and they say from the age of, from 2025 until 2030, there's going to be major ascension, there's going to be solar flares, there's going to be climate changes, wars, food shortages, and there would also be ET contact.
Yes, because see, in this case, what is the impact now? So far I have explained the Yuga cycles. We have seen the timeline is 1200 years, and it is starting from 20th March 2025. We are already seeing the results. What will be the impact? First of all, positive, negative, both, because the negative will be seen first. Like I said, if you have reached to a certain point of degradation where you are beyond repair, now it's like cleansing, clean and build again. That is how it is. So this time period is going to bring certain events globally, which are going to create a lot of shocking things for people. It will force you, and believe me, it does not mean that it will happen to a country. No, you are living in a country, you will be impacted by that too. So the thing here is that it's going to be bringing certain incidents which will force the humanity, the humans, to go into a state of shock and existential crisis. Everything that mattered to you so far, you will start to question what I did for every effort, everything. Like LA fires happened, big celebrities, rich people is still watching helplessly burning down their homes. Can they do anything? They have all power in the world. Is still pathetic, helpless at that moment of time. That is power of nature. Because destruction of what? Egos, false egos. So destruction, shocking of what? Existential crisis means you think you are the doer. I will do things. I have control upon my life. No control. Nature will put you in place. So that is the point which we were going to go through. And also it will show that until and unless you don't realize how much destruction you have done, new age cannot come who knows that what is the value of peace. World wars happened. After that, we went into a state of peace, comparative peace. Why? Because we know what is the cost of that war. Similarly, this will be not a war, this will be a big event. They were short, they were lesser in comparison. So, the thing here is we will see multiple things. First of all, climate change. Number one thing will be climate change. Climate change, like destruction through fire, I said, ekpyrosis. So, destruction through fire means heat will increase globally, temperatures will rise. What will happen ultimately? Ice caps will melt, water will rise. So there are going to be certain things. First of all, high heat, storms, earthquakes, calamities, irregular rainfall. Rainfall will not be there proper. Epidemics, agriculture will be impacted, and the cities, or I'll say places which are prone, which are very close to sea and which are prone to submergence, will submerge down, lost. So, and there is a reason. People who are familiar with the astrology, I'll just share a chart so that you can just see why I'm saying this. Now, see, can you see the chart?
Yeah.
Now, see, this is the chart, 20th March 2025, 1431, at the time where the equinox happens. So, I was talking about when the date, this date. So, what is happening, that majority planets, Sun, Venus, Mercury, Rahu, are going in Pisces. 12. This 12 is Pisces. It is a water sign. And another thing here is that majority planets are under the influence of Saturn. Simple reason, ascendant is falling in Saturn's nakshatra, Pushya, constellation of Saturn. Moon is in Saturn's nakshatra, Sun is in Saturn's nakshatra. So Saturn is a destructor of ego. In astrology, Saturn is sorrow, pain, suffering, loss of doership, instability, challenges, and it also shows transformation. Where it is sitting, it is the house of transformation, 8th house. So now I say that Pisces, all majority planets are falling in Pisces. Pisces is water. Pisces is means it is a dimension beyond earthly plane. It represents spiritual life. It represents ideas, thoughts, creation. It also shows enlightenment. So Pisces is very important. So I will talk about all the positive and negative end both. But what does it show? If we talk about the positive part, right? It can also show great advancements in technology. That is definitely going to happen. Who will lead? China will lead. Because if we see individual charts, China will be the leader. No other country will come close to that. When it comes to the part where we discuss that who will be researching and inventing and bringing new cutting edge technologies every day, China. If we look at the individual chart of China itself, you will get to know why. Then it shows that Pisces will be bringing that, yes, the technological advancement will be definitely there in terms of all aspects, whether it is engineering, space, defense, manufacturing, all kinds of engineering, IT, telecom, aviation, railways, finance. It also shows this, like you said, space travel. Pisces is traveling, very important. And it can also show transportation. High chances that we can develop certain technologies which can be used by masses. not some experimental technologies, where the travel time is reduced significantly. Like right now, you travel from India, New Delhi to New
Yeah.
York, 15-16 hour flight. So it reduces to like few hours, and I'm talking about significant, like 1 hour, 2 hours maximum.
We already see that there are these videos, I don't know if it's real or not, but there are these videos that's popping up on Instagram where there are these UFOs, and then they talk about how the government's already had these aircrafts that could just travel within such short time. I'm wondering if these, like, in order to have this technology, you need to have a certain level of consciousness, right?
Correct. And we need to have that, obviously, but that is why the things are going to change, because events need to trigger that you have to, no matter what, you have to change now. You will be forced to. There is no other option left. Your olden ways are not going to work anymore. The timeline, I said na, Yuga is a particular theme set on earth. Now the theme is set. So the first theme is destruction by fire. So when I say fire, climate pattern, I told you, fire also means ego. In terms, when I say fire is anger. When on psychological plane, what is fire? Ego, arrogance, anger, vengeance, grudges. That is fire, bad fire in you. So it will increase, but what it will do ultimately? Destruction. We will see rise of dictatorial leaders in all countries. We are seeing that. People who are power hungry, people who are dictatorial, people who are arrogant, blindly egoistic, and they will lead nations into wars. Because who will have power to lead nation into? You and I don't have that. Leaders sitting in power have that. So the rise of leaders of such nature should be there. Like when World War II happened, Adolf Hitler rose to power. Right now, if Adolf Hitler is president, nobody will vote for him. But it was that time, that phase where everybody was like, yeah, Adolf Hitler is God. So that is the thing, or what I say right now. We'll see the rise of such leaders. We are seeing the rise of such leaders as of now.
We are seeing, even when this war happened between, these wars that are happening now, it's just so obvious that it is a useless war, that was not necessary. So what can we do? Like you said, we are helpless, no?
We will see it right now. It's like what can we do is we connect to our base nature. That is very important. First of all, understand there are other areas of transformation as well. So I was talking about positive end. So it will also show increase in medical technology, transportation. I told, engineering, I told, everything. Medicine also, which will enhance our lifespan. In Kaliyuga, the maximum age can be 100, 125, 100, 110 maximum. Right now, average lifespan which we have reached is approximately 75 years, approximately, varying upon country to country. But in increment in that, okay, like in Satyuga, it is being said, people did not have any diseases. Bodies, it's like if you don't have any disease, why you need healthcare? Simple. The environment is clean, you are at such level of health that you don't face diseases at all. We are weak, we face diseases by polluting environment, and our bodies are also of not that capability. Then it also shows rise in spirituality. Pisces is that. So it will be a stage. And understand one more thing, this ascension which I am talking about, it is going to be impacting all life on earth. But since every person has an individual chart, so everybody, their individual chart is going to be giving results, no doubt. So the people who have, according to their horoscopes, whether they are spiritual or not right now, but the horoscope is fine. And people who are already, like, they follow certain spiritual pathways, so for them it is a good time period. Because the changes which we will see, spirituality will enhance. Pisces and Virgo, Sun is natural soul, Atma Karak. So it will increase the consciousness, elevate the consciousness. Consciousness means you are becoming more close to true self. True self of that I am pure consciousness. I am not this body and mind. In search of God. You are moving towards that. So we'll see rise in spirituality, particularly in those people who have natural tendencies or who are already in this path. They will move way forward. So that is another very brilliant aspect. And we can also see rise of spiritual, good spiritual leaders or gurus who don't come in society anymore. In Kaliyuga, they don't. But since the time is coming out to be favorable, we can see that yes, I'm not talking about frauds, hypocrite babas. I'm talking about good ones, genuine ones who are lost in isolation, cut off from the material world, don't engage. I'm talking about them to show path to humanity. We can see. Second, apart from that, we also can, like you said, connection with different lokas. Like you talk about ET, it's not it technically it is ET. I'm not talking about alien per se, which you imagine in Hollywood movies. Not like that. It's like beings which are from different lokas. They have different capabilities, and as the descending phase becomes so profound that person is totally ignorant, so these, like I said, these beings also disconnect, they don't come. Now that can happen, and they can be in a spirit form, they can be in any ethereal form, it depends. I'm not talking about I'm not here to propagate any conspiracy theories, not like that. It's true. The thing here is that, like I said, Vedas were compiled by rishis, seers, huh? Same way, somebody like Muhammad got the revelation by Gabriel, huh? So
Yeah.
there must be somebody who is giving him the message, huh? So some being, some light, something that is there which is at a higher plane of existence, at a consciousness than you don't know about it, but they are there. So the contact with such, and who can contact them? People who are spiritual, who have higher levels of consciousness. People who are ignorant, who are hedonistic, who don't have any capability, who still think that, oh, okay, this is all fantasy, uh, la
Yeah.
la land kind of stuff. So they are going to be in a state of destruction only. Forget about them. So the thing here is that when I say stage of cleansing means if you are capable, like if you are fit enough to move forward, you will move. If you are not fit enough to move forward, you will be cleaned out. As simple as that. Nature does not care about. Nature is cruel, merciless. As simple as that. So you just have to keep in mind that if the way forward, the people who are listening to this, and I understand people who are listening to this, they obviously have these kind of tendencies. That is why they are listening to this. So the thing here is that the only thing which will help you, because this is a stage which is not all bad, very favorable
Yeah.
for people who have that kind of mindset. Focus on a spiritual life, connect with your own self, read philosophy, connect with God, do mantras, do meditation, follow any spiritual practice, whatever suits you. Connect with that, the inner energy which is constantly driving your life, the inner consciousness which is available to you, yet you are blind to it. So that thing, the more you will be available, enhancing it, the more you will be knowing that I am not the doer. False ego is cutting down in you. You know, universe is so profound, infinite, and I am nothing in front of it, literally insignificant. This makes you more capable to connect with the universe, the cosmos. Then the flow of information which is available all around you, you will be able to swim in it, understand it. People can call you crazy, but the point here is that you can see the reality which they are not able to do. Very few people are there. So it's like you are living in a blind society, and if you somehow got eyes, the blind people will think that there is no light, you are insane. It's like that. So it does not mean that light does not exist. Light is the only thing that exists. Focus on that light. Be uh, the follower of dharma. morality, ethics, duty, commitment, responsibility, dharma, values, respect the nature. You are living in this earth. Everything that is being given to you is out on loan. We say karma chakra, na? So karma means everything, action and a consequence. So everything is loaned out to you. Do you think this body is yours? No. Nature has given this body because of 5 elements. So everything is being loaned out to you. And what are you, if you are abusing it, you will have to pay a big, huge interest. Don't abuse. Use it for what it is given. Enjoying the world. And how to make world a better place, then only you can enjoy. Na? Can you enjoy hell? No. So if you are living in a world, be respectful of that. These are simple things. The more you are going to connect it, phase of transformation will be easy.
Even if we do get into spirituality, if there is going to be a big fire, everyone will die in it, right? How would spirituality help you?
It will, because see, the person who is spiritual, he does not associate with his body and mind anymore. Body and mind, see, it comes and goes. It comes and goes. I have lived many lifetimes. I just don't know that. You are seeing this body. This body is new, but the consciousness sitting behind this body, experiencing it. It's age old, beginningless, endless. So when I say you are associating with consciousness, what happens? You are de-identifying with the body. Whatever comes, comes. Who cares? And let's suppose the goal of spiritual people is what? Liberation. That is the ultimate goal. Na? Why you are seeking a spiritual life? To liberate, to go away, to be in a state of bliss. If that is not manifested in this world anymore, you are living in a, like I said, in a bad condition. Upliftment. So understand, Pisces is that sign which uplifts you on a scale of consciousness, not on the scale of body all the time. It does not mean body. And when I say that, yes, there will be natural calamities and disasters and everything, we are seeing all this now throughout the world. What does it mean? That they are showing us that, yes, whatever destruction you have done, now it is time to pay off. And later on, another point will be, because in front of Pisces is Virgo, global recession, economy will fail throughout the world. So it will be slow, because Pisces is a slow sign, but economy will fail. So major trade wars will be there. That is why I already told about that, various trade wars. And one big trade war will come later between US and China. It's not there right now. It will come. Right now, US, Canada are going on in troubles with each other. That I also explained in the video in early December. It is starting to happen right now. So what I'm saying here is that we will see crash of stock markets, recessions, financial failures, bank failures, huge economic pressure and crisis all across the world. It does not mean some country will be affected or some will be saved. No, everybody will be affected throughout the world. It's like a global event. And then further, it can lead to disputes. Mainly the issues can start with trade, because Pisces is waters, oceans. So majority trade is done through what? Oceans. So trade wars will be seen, and then they can lead to military action of any kind. So that is also another element which we can say, and China will play a role there too, because initiation of these positive and negative events, majority country which is going to be playing a very vital role is China.
I work in supply chain, and we already have these information, which is China is going to impose a 15% tax. So we as supply chain are already thinking of not getting products from China, or looking at the products from US and then trying to stop buying from US. And then moving it into other areas, but like trying to move out our manufacturing plants from US and China and moving it into Europe or India. So it's not fully come out, but it's like these little things that we are trying to prepare for. So what you're saying is already
it is going to happen. Yeah, it is happening, and you will see majority trade war will happen because of the problems going on in South China Sea. That will be the main area. where everything, it will be like the epicenter of all these things. So you will see that yes, it will be a trouble. Trade routes will be blocked, and ultimately military action will happen. It will take time, no doubt. I said 15, 20 years from 2025, 15, 20 years. Particularly, we will see this more prevalent in like 2026 or 7 onwards,
Oh.
end of 26 onwards. We'll see more of this. So yes, we can expect trade wars, financial problems, economic recessions, which are, and ultimately creating what, mass unemployments, companies going bankrupt, inflation. So when you will be impacted, or the commoner will be impacted through money. Commoner does not care about wars or whatever. We are impacted by taxes. Taxes will also increase.
Yeah.
Most of the time taxes will increase. So all these issues, they are going to culminate into a big chaotic situation, finally leading into a warlike scenario. It will take time, but it will happen. So like I said, it is the age of cleansing. So obviously the cleansing is like, now is the time. It's like, I have given you some time to do good and be a good person. You didn't listen, now face the brunt. It's like that. So that is how, like, we have big it is like, we have all big stories of flood happening in all mythologies,
Yeah.
in Hindu, in Christian, in Abrahamic religion, everywhere. Flood mythology, what is that? Destruction by ice, water, destruction by water, cataclysmos. So it is the destruction by water, that now it's like, it's so negative now that ultimately there is no choice but to have a flood and manage destruction through water and start a new Egypt civilization. So we think that, okay, some people think that, oh, it is just a mythological story. It's not, it's true. It's just,
Yeah.
you just see it. So the same thing we are going to go now, but it is a destruction through fire. So a lot, and you will see one more thing. Seasons will, seasonal shift will be there, and some seasons will be lost
Oh.
completely. Some seasons will be lost. Like, it is destruction through fire, so winters particularly will be very shortened. Coldness
It
is going
is.
on down, no? Winters won't be there anymore.
My colleagues just came from Switzerland and they said that they had snow only for one day.
Oh.
So there's no more, their winter is no more there. So for us also, it's the same.
Yes. and and
This is,
and if you see, the deserted areas, they are having rainfall. Dubai was having floods.
yeah, we had
Saudi
flood.
Arabia was having rainfall. Antarctica is having vegetation. We are already experiencing this.
Good Lord.
uh,
So what do we do now? Is there anything we can do? This sounds like a very scary time,
it is,
like
it is,
why,
it is. And it
what
will
can we
impact,
do?
see, agriculture, it will be impacted profoundly. Animal life will be by climate, if it is going to be disturbed. So
Yeah.
first it will impact the vegetation, it will impact our food and crops. It will because they are dependent on seasons.
Yeah.
Then it is also going to impact our health, because we adapt according to seasons. Like somebody who is more accustomed to living in snowy regions,
Mm.
now they are put in like, oh, huge temperature, how they will survive? They don't have that capability, that immunity. No.
Mm.
So that is another problem. And majority, it will also create change in species, like insects, like flowers, like plant species, all flora and fauna. So mutation will happen not only in humans, it will happen in genetic mutation in them. I'm not talking about forceful genetic mutation, which we do in labs. We are already doing that. But yes, it will happen natural in a way also, flora and fauna, maximum genetic mutation in a bad sense.
Mm.
Ultimately, it will be fine. But initially, it will be like destruction is occurring all throughout. That is the problem. Pollution is already there. Many problems are already there. Now we are experiencing this. Like Corona happened, COVID happened. It has
Mm.
already brought genetic mutation majority population.
Yeah.
So, do you think that it was just all of without any reason. Obviously, it was planned activity. But if we talk about the planetary impacts, we are going through this kind of stages. We are seeing these events. So similarly, we are going to expect such results. And like I said, that the only thing which can help you, if you are listening to this, obviously plan your finances, stay away from bad stock options. It is not going to be favorable for you. Plan your economy very well, it means your own finances very well, as much as possible, and focus more on fixed assets, like which are not going to be destructed very easily, because the entire economy is dependent on, like your gold. Without gold there is no economy. Like your land, gold and land, they are very important. At least you should have that. Some money, of course, because currency can devalue, gold cannot,
Yeah.
land cannot. So the thing here is that these things, investment should be taken care of. Plan your finances, even if, let's suppose, some kind of things are going, people are getting layoffs in big numbers, we are seeing that also. So that that aspect should be taken into account, that if I am witnessing or going to witness these times, and they are not very far away, they are just starting and they are going to be there, I need to plan as much as possible in a way. And again, main thing, focus on a spiritual life, connect with God. There is no other option.
In terms of jobs, like I know, what do you see? Because jobs are completely different now with after AI coming in. You know, a lot of these layoffs are happening.
This is a good question, because it is going to bring major change not only in the working culture, it will also show major shift in education systems. Definitely it will happen, because now education systems are, majority universities are producing workforce, they are not
Yeah.
producing minds, visionaries. No, it's like I need to produce a workforce for a particular industry, some basic skill sets are required, you just go there, manage and do the work, that's all. That is all what is being taught in courses. We are not taught to think, we are not to have ideas, we are not taught to have visions, we are not taught to research. No, we are taught to be labor, skilled labor, unskilled labor, that is up to you, but ultimately you are a labor at the end of the day. So you are not taught to think free, you are not taught to be free from the mind, because if you are free from the mind, you will be a disruptor of the society. That is how majority philosophers are. So in this case, we will see a big shift, because now technology is coming up. Your basic skill sets are now rendered useless. They
Yeah.
don't matter. Now it will be like you will be forced again that go to a knowledge which actually matters, which only human can do,
True.
not the machines. So
Yeah.
you will be forced to do that. Learning culture will shift, courses will shift. It's not like that, okay, I can be a customer executive anymore. No, I can do that. Such jobs which are not that profound, like previously they used to matter a lot, but now they don't. Basic work is, or not only basic, but certain levels where client interaction is done, AI can do that. No human interaction is needed anymore. And that is why companies are actually laying people off, where they are no longer required. They can be replaced by machines. Why? They are going to pay so much. So now the shift will also come, that you are losing jobs. And now what matters is focus on skill sets which only you can do now.
You know, when you say focus on skill sets, right? It's like, what I'm thinking is, let's say something like yoga. It's not something that can be replaced by AI. So is music, dance, these kind of
They can be, because see, first of all, everything which is connected with ideas,
yeah.
machines as of now, they can calculate, but they cannot think.
Yeah.
Finally, ultimately, they will be able to. It will take a long time, not right now. But the thing here is that focus on the ability which has been given to you, capability to have ideas, imagination, creativity, art, beauty, and care, empathy. These are the properties. If you have to think, or if you are a highly scientific guy also, like I'm talking about, for example, Albert Einstein, he came up with a theory, but how? Imagination. Majority planets in his chart are in Pisces. So what does it show? Capability to imagine. Pisces is imagination. We are going through that age now. So Pisces means use your head for once. Don't be a robot anymore. If you are going to use your head and connect with divinity, then only you will get that idea. Yeah, this is what I can do. This is now something which machine cannot be doing anymore as of now.
What
That can be seen.
What will happen to astrology? Like, what do you see? Because you have been doing this for so many years. Do you see a shift in the way people are? Are people more interested in astrology now?
No,
Can
they are,
AI
yes, yes, yes.
replace?
No. They are. But see that in the recent years, like not too much, like last 2 years itself, we have seen a lot of growth in astrology apps and everything. Lot of growth. But understand, as far as astrology is concerned, it is a sacred subject. It is a, when I say astrologer, it does not mean you require only knowledge of astrology. No, you require knowledge of everything. You require knowledge of psychology, biology, medicine. You require a philosophical approach. You require religion. If you don't have any of these skill set, you cannot be a good astrologer. Somebody is coming to you with their own problems. Astrology means a study of time and a study of the person in front of you. It is the hardest subject possible. How can you understand the person who is in front of me, how they are, what is their problem, how they think, where they are going wrong, what is the time period that they are running, how the time is impacting them, influencing them? It's a big thing. And do you think that the knowledge can come through only Jyotish? No, you need to delve into other streams of subjects. Then you start to correlate. Once you start to correlate, then you get to understanding that yes, this is how the things are working. So it's so like Pisces. Pisces is a very great sign for philosophy, astrology, occult, yoga, palmistry, healing. Medicine is very great. Research. Like I said, good aspects. What research will increase. New technologies will come. So how they will come? If there is nobody to do research, how will they come? So Pisces means that yes, there will be a substantial group of people who will have that capability also, na? That who will
Yeah.
be contributing to the development also. At the same time, there is also going to be a substantial group of population which will be contributing to the destruction part also. You decide where you want to do, where you want to be, construction or destruction. If you will participate in destruction, you will be also destructed ultimately.
You know, you mentioned in your video, fake, materialistic, immoral people will be destroyed and will also be the reason for destruction of the planet.
Correct. And we are seeing that, like I said, rise of such leaders. Do you think? And I have not made this video. I'll make videos about this sometimes. Like for example, Donald Trump. If you see his chart, he is born for these things.
For
He's literally
destruction.
born to take. Technically, you can say destruction. Yes, to bring too much. I'll say to lead you, because he is from US, to obviously to lead and initiate these global events. He's born to do that.
Oh my goodness.
Do you
So if
think that
someone,
everything happens for a reason?
yeah.
And
So,
even if that, let's suppose other, we are already seeing Russia-Ukraine war. We are
yeah.
seeing Israel in war with Gaza. So, and then Saudi Arabia also went into war. Iran is into war. Everybody is into war. The Middle East is totally gone. Now trade wars are happening. US is initiating the trade wars with Canada. Then I'll said China will later come. China is going to come inevitably. It will ultimately, all this, the central focus will be China for everything.
Central focus will be China. So will the Chinese people, I mean, is the China who's going to destruct the rest of the world? Is that what you're saying?
It will do both.
Right.
It will do both. Actually, like I said, it will be the central focus for new age research, technology advancement also. And one more thing, Pisces, it shows that replacement, like energy, sun is there, na?
Yeah.
So gradual replacement of conventional dependence on fossil fuels.
Right.
Will not be using that anymore.
How does India look like? What does
India will not be the initiator of anything, but India will obviously be involved. because we geopolitically we are surrounded by big nations. China is our neighbor, and Pakistan is our neighbor. We are not surrounded by good countries. All countries are inimical to us.
True.
So the thing here is that India obviously plays no significant role in initiating these events, but yes, we will be experiencing the issues, and majority India will face issues internally, because we see the chart of India. If you look at the chart of India, we are going to start Mars Mahadasha from September 2025 for 7 years, 25 to 32. So Mars is not going to be a good time. We will experience these financial issues, number one, trade issues second, then high taxes that we will be seeing, crash of stock market and all these things. Financially disruption can be expected easily. Then we can see internal issues going on, like internal rebellion, internal revolts, internal hassles between groups of people. So, and external also later, but internal. So India is obviously going to be facing difficult times ahead. We have difficult times way ahead of us. Finally, we'll be able to recover. I'm not saying it will be a permanent destruction. And this also I want to clarify: it will not be a permanent destruction. Don't think of it like a apocalypse. Not like that. Whatever I have discussed so far, it's not an apocalyptic event. It's like a gradual, slow phase of change, which is required for a new age of civilization to come up. It's like that.
If we are to think about what is going to happen, we are concerned about our children. How can we raise our kids better compared to what we are doing right now?
Connect, see, teach them. See, the best thing will be to teach them moral values instead of giving them mobile phones all the time. Let them connect with the nature first. Right now, no kid goes out and plays. They are already immersed in their mobile phones all the time. Let them connect with nature. Let them be kids for once. They are not kids anymore. They are becoming adults in very early age. What do you expect from them? Very poor concentration, no study, performance in academics. Education system is already poor. What will you expect? Falling into relationships when they should play and think about, like, live life, and you are getting into all this stupidity at this age. What will happen then? You will be creating a generation which is mentally lost and don't have any positive visions. They are living in some lala cuckoo land, and they don't have that inner capability to face the toughness of life. And when life is tough, when life will throw you challenges, instead of facing it and moving ahead, you will be lost in depression. Majority times we see maximum people of early ages falling into depression, anxiety, panic attacks. Why? Because you have not shaped your mind. Your mind is so weak, so pathetic, that it can't even handle simple things in life. People used to go to wars and come back, so traumatic event, yet they are able to live life. Can you do that now? I'm not talking about going to war. I'm talking about simple things. Somebody said no to you. You can't face rejection. Your self confidence is so low. You seek desperate social validation. What do you expect? Do you have any identity in yourself? No. What kind of generation we are leading into? If this is the youth, what will be the future then? That. So if we say, put the seeds in the initial stages. If you are a parent to a young kid, let him focus on playing out, connecting with nature, instead of only immersing him on the tablet or the mobile all the time. That is necessary. And teach him religion, philosophy, connection with God. The young kid cannot understand complicated philosophy, but he can understand if you put a belief system in him. It will, dharma means moral values. I'm not talking about any particular religion. Whether you believe it or not, it does not matter. Some idea should be there that you have to think about others also. You should not be utterly selfish. So morals, ethics, principles, virtues, who will give that? Parents. It's parents' duty. Parents' duty is not only to provide money, or right now parents are providing money and they are absent from their kids' lives. Do you think that kid is going to be very good? No. What are you playing as a role? If you are working and then you expect that my kid is not doing great, or not serving me? Why he will serve you? Were you there when he needed you? No. Now why he will be there when you need him? It is a utterly selfish culture now. So
True.
that is why I say, only thing which will help you every time, intellect develops later, beliefs form very early in life. So beliefs like I know this is good, honesty is good, association with religion is good, morality is good, ethics is good. If you understand these things, you are developing a guilty conscience. Technically, the word is wrong. Conscience, the natural inner voice which nature has given every human being. It will tell you this is right, this is wrong, and it will say it only once. But once you ignore it and still do actions what are bad for you, then you have to face the things. But this belief, this morals, this ethics, these principles, what are they going to do? They are going to strengthen that voice. Next time whenever you are going to take some action, it will always be your guiding force. No, this is wrong, I cannot do it. Then only the things will become fine, na? Slowly and slowly society will become better, otherwise not.
When you talk about health and healing or food, what advice would you give us when it comes to what we should consume?
Better to stay away from non-vegetarian. Too much. Why? Because of two reasons. First of all, like I said, maximum food intake that we have availability, whether it is plants or non-veg, majority are GMOs right now, genetically modified. And whether you know it or not, no matter, even if they claim they are organic, or who is going to check?
Yeah.
So the thing here is that I don't get into all that marketing tactic of organic and non-organic. Just focus on home cooked food, which you cook from your own hands. Better cook from your own hands, and don't eat food which is stale, which is preserved for a very long period. People have that
Frozen
tendencies.
foods and all.
Frozen food. Avoid preserved frozen foods. Eat healthy, eat good, which is freshly prepared, and apart from that, increase a plant-based diet rather than a animal diet. That will be better, because logically also, the affinity for body inflammation is too much. If we consume non-vegetarian on a regular basis, you will be more prone to autoimmune issues. You will be more prone to general common health issues. Cancer is one of them, very common now. So why people say I don't smoke? Are smoking is not the only cause for cancer. Your daily diet, just see it. If it is so bad and it's not containing any nutrients, what do you expect? So that is why food matters. The body is a temple. Treat it like that.
I love that. Abhijeet, it has been great having you on to the podcast. Is there
Welcome.
any final advice you want to give us?
Final advice, I already told you. Final advice is that please connect to the nature, connect to yourself, and plan your finances, plan your life as much as possible. And at the end, realize that nothing is in your hands to a greater extent. The more you surrender to the supreme energy or absolute reality, which you call as God, the better it will be for you as well as for the future generations.
Thank you. And my final question, Abhijeet, where can we find you and the beautiful, wonderful work that you do?
You can find me. I have YouTube channels with the name of Astro Edify, ASTROEDIFY. I make videos in Hindi and English both. You can watch my videos there. If any of you are interested in consultations, I also do that. My website is abhijeetmishra.com, ABHIJEETMISHRA.com. You can visit that for all. I take courses also, and I do offer consultations as well. I have my Instagram pages with the same name, Astrodify. Connect on me.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Abhijeet. It was a pleasure having you. Thank you once again.
Welcome. Thanks a lot for having me, Tanya.